everyone, I'm Lisa Copeland, love coach and dating expert for women over 50. And today I want to talk about some of the things you can learn from the Golden Bachelor about what's really going to get you the guy. And I'll even give you my thoughts about if I think Gary is going to find his person. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you couldn't have missed that the Golden Bachelor is out. And I think it was great that they decided to do this with people over 50 because we're still very, very vital people. And as I watched the show, I could see some things going on that were just the same as I see clients doing that either make them successful or keep them from getting the guy. And I want to share some of those with you today. The first one is being careful of thinking that the cover of the book has a great story inside. So, what do I mean by this? Gary is a really nice looking guy, and he's meeting these women for the first time in a tuxedo, and that automatically elevates his handsomeness. He looks great. He also wears hearing aids. And everybody thinks he's so amazing because he's kind, which is wonderful, and he's handsome. But that doesn't mean these women know who Gary really is. And that's important to understand. You want to be very careful of thinking someone's great because of great looks. It just means they had a good gene pool. It would be interesting to see Gary's picture online and if women were attracted to him. If he was sitting in a hoodie and jeans or just a plaid shirt and jeans, and if you saw his hearing aid without that tuxedo on, would you be okay with that? So the thing is, a lot of women put a lot of value on a man's looks and vice versa too. Men do it with women too, but it doesn't mean they're the right match for you. You want to be able to dig a little bit deeper and see what else is there. One of the things I liked about Gary is he was waiting to date. He was really healing his life from the loss of his wife. And even though he could still get teary about his late wife, he took 6 years to heal. And that is so important that whether you have a death of a spouse or you get divorced, that you really take the time to heal because you need that. Otherwise, you're bringing that last relationship into a new relationship. Also, if there were a lot of issues and you haven't healed, you will just drag those issues right into the next relationship to have them healed there. One of the red flags I saw is one of the women reminded him of his late wife. Now, I've worked with women for a very, very long time, and especially when it comes to people that had a good marriage and their spouse passed away, they go out there looking for this person at first. And the problem is that person doesn't exist anymore. Also, when we met that person, we were young and we had very different goals than we do as we are in our 50s, 60s, and 70s and looking for love. So this could be a red flag because he might just be looking for his wife again. And I've seen it hurt women and hold them back from being able to see the possibilities of some people that would be a great choice for them. Some more red flags, but this isn't about Gary. This is about some of the women. So some of the women had pretty dramatic entrances. Now, this is reality TV, and they have to set themselves apart really quickly. So I get some of the entrances. In real life, if you're going to make an entrance, it could really turn a guy off. Be yourself. And I've had women write comments in my Facebook groups. Do men really like it when a woman pulls his head to her and starts kissing him? Yeah, they do. I don't necessarily recommend that the second that you meet someone. Instead, when you're going on a date, hug someone. It makes you come across as very warm and very open. Many people put their hand out, and men will too, because women have put their hand out, but you're not on a job interview. You're on a love interview to see if the two of you really like each other. So you want to come across as warm. And a hug makes you come across as someone who's really open. Another red flag I saw some of the women doing is over talking about themselves. Now, the thing is when you do this, it becomes a monologue, not a dialogue. And it is all about you. And I know, again, this is reality TV, and they're trying to tell this guy really good things about themselves very quickly. But this is not what connects you. What connects you is a back and forth conversation. I thought one of the funniest connections was the woman who was using cuss words in a mantra she was saying to him, and he joined in with her doing them, and they blanked these out. You want to have something that has back and forth, because he's got to get to know you and you have to get to know him. Otherwise, you're putting all the value on him because you're trying to prove you're worthy of him. And you have to make sure he's worthy of you too. Another important thing I think you can learn from this show is what made Gary so open to Faith, who's the woman he gave the impression rose to, is she made him feel special. And I heard women say that same thing. He's an amazing man. He made me feel special. And one of the things Faith, who is the woman he gave that rose to, one of the best things about her, which Gary noted, was not only did she smile, which, by the way, men love in women, her eyes twinkled and smiled too, which made her come across as authentic. And she really was very low key. And you could tell they had a connection at first, right away. One of the things I really liked about Gary, and many of the women too, they talked about the connection they felt with each other versus the chemistry. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know I am a big proponent of connection versus chemistry. Chemistry is hormonal, it is not long lasting, and it gives you a false sense of trust. Connection is when the two of you connect through your heart and you just feel a warmth inside of you. That also goes with that part of he made me feel special or she made me feel special. And it's really good. All right. So, do I think Gary will get the woman? So, here's the issue. The problem is a lot of these women live a long ways away from Indiana, and they may have a great connection on this show, but how do you fit real life in when you live that far apart? And with both of them probably having a lot of family around where they live, it would be hard for one of them to move to where the other one is. I think he has some really nice connections. He's a very kind man, very empathetic, and he really cared when he had to give everyone a rose but three women. And that really hurt him. You could see that. That's a good sign. So I think this will be a fun show to watch. It's very different, but I do like that they're showing everybody for who they are. And you know what? Men and women in their 50s, 60s, and 70s have so much to offer each other, and they're still beautiful and still handsome, and so are you. And I like that he chose women in their 70s too to give a rose to, as well as other age women, because men really are more open to all ages. It has to do with how they feel around you. That is so important. Okay. We'll be talking about the Golden Bachelor over time here because there's a lot to learn from it. And also, it's great entertainment. If you like this video, I hope you'll give it a like and subscribe to my channel. I so appreciate it. And also, leave your comments below about what you think of the Golden Bachelor and if you're enjoying it. And if some of the things I shared with you today really helped you. All right, until next time. So believing in you.